Alright, so similar to last time, we're now back in Trackunit Manager, inside our IrisX library. If you look down to the bottom left, you will see the active account. This is our Trackunit Rental Customer Portal demo account, which I will be using to walk through the branded experience example. In our library, you can see the different IrisX capabilities available in this environment. But, as we discussed earlier, now I want to zoom in on one specific part, the branded manager experience. Before we start clicking around at the portal itself, I want to briefly anchor us in the documentation. So, what do we have here? The branded manager experience lets you invite your customers into a personalized, branded environment where they can easily keep track of the assets they've rented or bought from you and access telematics insights respectively. So, what are some of the key features of the branded manager experience? First, you can brand the entire portal exactly the way you want. Colors, logo, identity, so your customers feel like they are inside your digital platform. You can integrate with your ERP system to pull in additional rental, service, or commercial information and present it alongside the telematics data. Through Automation Studio, you can automate workflows directly for your end customers, from service notifications to onboarding flows and custom business logic. And if you want to go even further, you can build custom applications on top of the portal using the App SDK to deliver fully differentiated functionality. What is key is that you can create customer-specific setups and enable apps selectively, each configuration tailored to your customer's needs or, for example, your contractual obligations. One additional highlight is that it can be connected with your own platform as well, with true single sign-on support, making the experience seamless for your customers. So, how can this actually be used in practice? On the one hand, you can manage everything manually. If you have, say, anywhere from a single customer up to 100, the entire onboarding and portal setup can be handled directly inside the interface. No IT involvement, no engineering resources required. Alternatively, and this becomes especially important when you're dealing with thousands of customers or tens of thousands of machines, you can rely on an automated provisioning through ERP integrations and other backend connections. Customers' assets can be created and updated, as well as synchronized automatically at scale. For today's session, I want to show you a few things you can manage manually, starting with one of the simplest but most impactful elements: branding and theming. This is where you control the look and feel of the entire customer portal or multiple versions of it. Often the first step companies take when they want to make the experience truly their own. Here you can see an example we created, Ground Force Rentals. And in this view you can see how flexible theming options are. You can define the theme name and even control how it appears in the browser tab, which is a small detail but really enhances the branding feel. On the styling side, you can adjust all the key colors. You can upload both a condensed logo for the collapsed menu, but also a full-size logo for the expanded layout. And if you want, you can enable features like support access just with a single toggle. All of this done without any code. So let me just change the color very quickly to illustrate how you can give the portal a completely different identity with just a few configuration steps, and actually how quickly it's being seen at the customer side as well. And just to highlight this again, what you're seeing here is just one theme. You can create multiple themes for different customer segments, brands, each with its own colors, logos, and configuration. So, what's next? You can get a full customer overview like this one you see here. This gives you visibility into all the customers you're serving, how many assets they have from you, and most importantly, any assets that require critical attention, have upcoming service, or are already overdue. It becomes a really easy way to understand which customers need support, where issues are emerging, and how you can proactively manage the relationship. One example I want to zoom in is Rock Solid Construction, a fictitious contractor who currently has a couple of assets from us. 3 assets to be precise. From this view, we can also see whether any of these assets require attention, whether they have upcoming service, or if anything is already overdue. It gives a clear real-time overview of the fleet's status that your customer has. When it comes to administering the customer, you can manage all the basics here, setting up business units, adding the relevant contacts, and enriching the account with additional metadata in the customer details as seen here. But where it really gets interesting is the Customer Portal tab. This is where you control what the customer actually sees and how they experience your branded digital offering from a functionality perspective. This is where you decide exactly which functionality the respective customer should have access to. And that can be anything from allowing them to use APIs directly to enable them a variety of Trackunit applications like service management, fleet inventory, or utilization reports. But it also doesn't stop there. You can also expose your own custom applications, but we will get into that a little bit later. And then over here on the branding, this is where you select which theme the customer should actually see. So if you've created multiple themes for different segments or brands, you can assign the right one to Rock Solid Construction just with a single click. And then lastly, to wrap up the customer portal experience from your side as the provider, you can invite the relevant contacts directly into the portal. They would receive an invitation email, can onboard themselves, and immediately gain access to the experience you have configured for them. To quickly summarize all of this straight out of the box. Great, so I think we're all curious to see how this actually looks from the customer's perspective once they gain access. So let me switch accounts here so we can take a look at the receiving end and see exactly what Rock Solid or any customer would experience when they log in. So let me just switch the account for a second, and here we are. Now I'm on the receiving end, logged in as the customer. The first thing we notice is the 3 assets assigned to this customer. 2 of the machines actually have seen recent data updates, while 1 hasn't reported anything for the last 6 months. And hey, let's keep that in mind for later, because maybe there's a reason for that. What stands out immediately is the custom branding and theming we set up earlier. Everything, the logo, the overall look, reflects the brand identity we configured on the provider side. Even the colors that we just changed are exactly seen here already. We also see the full set of applications that were enabled for this customer. Fleet inventory, service management, different reports and alerts. All the modules we actually have activated are now visible here. And now in the bottom left corner, I can actually confirm that I'm logged in as Rock Solid Construction, exactly as intended. Hey, in the interest of time, let me quickly open one of the individual assets here, especially the one that hasn't shown any recent data. If I navigate to the contract information, we can immediately see why this might be the case. This machine actually is still in delivery and the rental period hasn't started yet. And that's most likely the reason why no connectivity data has appeared so far. In general, the customer, in this case the contractor, will only see machine insights once the asset has been properly provisioned to them. You can clearly see that here in the contract details, which were brought in to the ERP integration. Beyond that, the customer has access to a wide range of telematics insights, so connectivity status, movement, utilization, service information, and much more. So it's a really powerful experience. Just imagine what they can do with this level of visibility and how it actually strengthens your overall customer relationship and engagement. Hey, but speaking of that, Tomokos, I think this is a perfect moment to hand it back to you. Any additional thoughts from your side?